fire as from the smoldering.
That bitch.
Yeah, and as that.
That was a fair trade.
Even in death.
It was,
Even
and
in
yeah,
death.
and you can hear her laughing. You can sort of like hear an echoing laugh of
Sorry,
as
bitch,
that
you're the one that's
cloud
dead.
dissipates. All right.
Alright, so I spend about 10 minutes working out my backpack situation. A couple glitter cannons off the thing here.
Yeah.
A little stones.
Dave, I'm going to don my breather, and I'm going to slowly lower myself into the water. Is the red kind of cleared up now? I don't want to get into shark-infested water.
No, it does. It does clear up, and by the time that you stick your foot into the water, it just like someone turned a light switch. It just goes instantly to a very still water, no ripples at all. You see no fish. You see none of her treasure on the floor. It's just a sandy bottom.
Man,
Very
must have
emotionless
been an
water.
illusion.
No fish or nothing.
Well, I gotta tell you guys, I am running a little low on magic power. We may need to rest a minute or something. Battery's getting low, guys.
So you think we should rest, Misty? Or, Glitter?
Glitter. Well, considering that I've got 10 mana points left.
All of a sudden, you start to hear a
Uh-oh.
massive churning of
Dragon.
bile and kind of echoing throughout the chamber. Sounds like it's coming from all directions. Whatever made that sound was probably pretty big.
Shit.
I'm gonna get out of here, Dave. I want to go west.
Sure, you want to?
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
when you go west, it basically is like another cavern that leads back to the area of the fissure where you entered, basically. Like
Okay, well, I have my
like
rebreather
Kinley
on
was
just
telling
in case I
you.
get trapped in the water.
Sure, no problem. Like Kinley was telling you, to the east is the way out of the grotto, and she hasn't left the grotto. She said that she has never left.
Oh,
the
I'm sorry,
grotto.
Dave. I meant east.
Oh
because,
yeah, sure. And the
I
water.
want to go to the right, not
Yeah,
west.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's why I put my breather on, and then I lowered myself into the water. Kind
Sure.
of where that little rock was that she was sunning herself before we shot her in the head. And I'm gonna, Lester's gonna crawl himself. I'm gonna crawl myself up there, but I want to go from where I am right now, across the water into that little island, and then I'll turn around and motion for everybody.
Sure.
Have my breather on, and I'm like,
You're not. I love it.
nobody can understand me because I have a red breather.
Yeah,
on.
and you're climbing up this like small little waterfall, and you're able to get up to the top, no problem at all, and you can see dry land beyond you. And where the land starts again, you start to see this remnants of magic splattered everywhere on the walls, the ceiling, much like was in the grotto. So you can tell that the fissure leads this way. Maybe this is where the true teleportation was supposed to take you before this, earthquake happened under the ground.
I'm gonna motion for everybody to follow.
Yeah. Shut up,
I will
Lester.
follow carefully, keeping my eye out.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow so far, but then eventually I'm telling him we're gonna have to stop and at least regenerate a little bit of power once we feel like we're mildly safe.
Sure.
Alright,
Everybody
so,
climbs up. There's
after
no
they-
checks needed. Everybody assists one another to get up this small little waterfall. And you start to proceed
I
down.
want to start climbing east.
Sure, the next well, yeah, that's part of the whole eastern thing. And you climb up the waterfall, and then you find this on top of the waterfall. There's like a path that continues into the depths. And like I said, on the walls, on the ceiling, on the floor, there's this remnants of magic. That's this portal teleportation. And you guys are traveling down this path. You get all dried off, but you hear this. So, definitely sounds like it's coming from somewhere, and it sounds like maybe coming from the east,
us?
maybe coming from the west. No, it doesn't seem. You're not really too sure because it seems like it's coming from all around you. And as you're
Does it
kind
sound
of,
like it's getting closer?
no, it's the same basically pitch and tone, and doesn't seem like it's getting any louder or softer or whatnot. Now, as you're drying off,
Straight up, Dave.
yeah, straight up, it's basically just an earthen cavern. And as you look a little bit further to the east, Lester, you can see that this is more of a dry path, as as the water coming from the rocks and stuff flowing over the side down into the grotto. It definitely gets a little bit more, well, a lot more dry, and the path leads into this type of area that looks like it's just overgrown with vines and whatnot. And it seems like that's the only way to go, because you kind of look around you, and it's a very, very narrow passage, very narrow fissure or crack that's been made in the earth.
Well, it sounds like we're going to have to continue going that way. Now, obviously, I take my breather off since we're walking on this path with these plants.
That would have been great to see you
But I
wearing
do-
that the entire game. That would have been great.
But I do want to make sure that as I'm on these plants, I want to check those plants out. Do I recognize any of them? Or are these like normal plants, or are they like squirming around and trying to grab me? I just
No.
want to make sure I don't have attack plants after.
No, that you can see that the vines are kind of slithering a little bit, but nothing to a point to where they're lashing out at you or anything like that. And you're able to travel down this dry path for, a good, probably you would think probably 100 yards or so, and you're definitely you're definitely out of earshot range of the grotto, because you no longer hear the water pouncing over, into the grotto down below. So now it is, just a cavernous area that has pools of water everywhere. You can see that, the broken earth is definitely leaking water. I mean, not at an expeditious rate where you're going to drown in 2 seconds, but there are sporadic puddles on the ground. And as you are moving along, like I said, there's lots of vegetation and tendrils that are kind of snaking in the wall and whatnot. But when I mean snaking, I don't mean visual vipers, and just these vines are kind of like moving a little bit. So it seems like it's definitely alive, but it's not aggressive whatsoever.
And I don't want to touch it as I walk through here. I want to make sure I'm totally away from it. I want to be extra wary as I'm walking down this thing to make sure that
Sure.
something's not going to reach out and grab me.
Yeah, and once you get about 100 yards in or so, Lester, the vegetation starts to get a little bit more dense, and it gets denser as you get deeper into this fissure, and it gets a little bit narrower as well. And there's lots of colorful flowers and colorful fruits that are protruding out of these vines now.
Well, I'm going to tell everybody, don't eat the fruits, you guys. I think it's a trap. I have nothing to base that on except for my intuition.
So does anybody have any kind of natural lore, like a skill or anything like that is one with nature, or maybe could identify this stuff? Because these fruits are very tempting to the eye. They look so juicy and sweet. They'd probably be good. These are some of this fruit that you've actually seen in markets and stuff, and especially in Nestora.
Nothing here, but I'm gonna go ahead and pick some of the flowers just to see what happens.
Sure, you pick a couple flowers, and
Go ahead, they're ready.
the vines around the flowers, they kind of protrude a little bit, but you pick the flowers. You smell them. They smell very, very good. They smell like you can almost eat them. They have like a honeysuckle type of smell to them. Very sweet, sugary smell. And there's fruits as well, all kinds of different greens and reds and apples and oranges and all kinds of fruits, grapes, all mixed in. It's kind of actually a sight actually to see all of these
salad?
different these different vegetables growing in one area.
I'm gonna look for a nice red apple. I'm
Sure.
gonna pluck that off the vine.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at that thing really, really close. I mean, I'm not anything in botany or anything like that. I mean, I do have magical lore, so maybe possibly see if I sense anything magical about it.
Okay.
Um,
Give me an intelligence check at -2, and if you have natural lore, you can
Okay.
have that in to kind of counter it out. So you can give me an intelligence check.
okie doke.
Wow.
2 off.
So clutch. So as you go to grab the red apple,
Oh, it didn't take the 2 off of that. Just so I put it in there, but it didn't take it off. So, it should be
you have a
just
bonus
16.
to intelligence as well. So
right.
yeah,
But it
so your
didn't take
bonus
the
should be
minus 2
4.
off it.
Your bonus should
Oh,
be
it
4.
is. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Never mind.
No problem.
Disregard me.
Thanks for playing. Thanks for
Easy.
playing.
Easy to do.
No problem.
I was trying to be honest.
I know you were, and I appreciate that because and to reward you with your honesty. As you
snap.
go to grab that red apple, you say, "Oh wow, what is this?" As you push the red apple away that's hanging on a cord, on a vine, you can see that there is a golden apple behind it. And you know of these golden apples, their names are called golden deepness. And these are a very special and very rare apple that actually energizes someone who eats it, or maybe restores their energy.
I'm not saying anything to anybody. I'm seeing these apples. And I'm just how many of them are there, Dave? Just the one
You see
or
plenty of the red apples, but this one golden
the
apple,
golden one?
you only see one.
Oh, I pluck that bitch. I pluck that bitch right off the
I
thing.
plucked that bitch.
Bitch goes right in my mouth.
Okay. So, go ahead and roll
Caution
me
to the wind, Dave.
give me a d6 roll. Because you are just
Okay.
you're eating that apple and you're just like, "Oh my god, this thing is so good." So you're going to get back a total of 7 mana points.
Hot damn.
Yeah, you just feel rejuvenated, and this golden apple. You've seen these before, only in glass cubes and the marketplaces and bazaars that you've been in, and these are very expensive. And now you know why.
All right. Well, I'm gonna be. Now that I know that they're here, even though I only see one now, I'm not saying a word to anybody. But I'm watching this area like a hawk as we walk through it to
Okay.
see if I see any more of them.
Sure. Give me a perception check. Thomas, what about you? Lester,
I-
what are you guys doing as you're walking down this fissure? And
I would
like I
expect
said,
that
as
I
you
was just watching.
go ahead.
No, go ahead, Dave.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I would have sit there and I really wouldn't have paid that much attention to Glitter as she reached out and went and started chowing an apple. I would have figured, hey, she's just eating an apple out of this bush.
Yeah,
I
but
didn't even
she's
notice
eating an
that it
apple,
was
going,
something.
"Oh my god, this is so good."
She's like having little apple gasms.
I guess, whatever it would sound
Some
like.
food gasms.
This is the best fruit she's ever had in her life.
I'll have what she's having. Right. Anyway, yeah. So I think I'm just keeping an eye out on those vines, just on the off chance that they're going to snake out and grab me. I'm nervous about it, Dave. So I'm concentrating.
Sure. Thomas, what about you? You said you had your
Well,
gun at the ready.
unlike Lester, I'm keeping a close eye on Glitter just to make sure nothing happens to her. Do I, perchance, happen to notice what she grabbed?
Hmm. You see her eating something, yes. You see her eating something, yeah. And she seems to be pretty excited. I don't know what it would sound like, but she's whatever she's eating.
Well, I was kind of downplaying it a little bit actually, because I was like, I'm testing this out to see, see if I'm going to share this information with everybody. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but
you would have
yeah,
probably
but you.
seen me
This
with
was
it. At
so
least.
good though, Glitter. This was so good. This was nothing. This is like an orgasm just exploded in your mouth. And I'm not trying to be. I'm not being dirty. I'm saying like an orgasm exploded in your mouth of goodness to where this is literally the best fruit that you've ever had. So I'm sure
Here, I'll just do a
anyone would
Google search
probably
then,
say,
Dave, and
"Wow,
see.
wow, this is awesome." I know I probably would.
Yeah, I'd probably say, oh my god, that was absolutely delicious. I'm just guinea pigging it up, guys. Something happens to me, well, not to eat the fruit.
Perfect. I guess now you're gonna keep the doctor away.
I am the doctor, baby.
Nice.
I did make a perception check there, Dave. I don't know if
Yep.
you said you wanted me
Yeah,
to.
you didn't see any.
All
You
right.
see plenty more apples and grapes and whatnot, but you don't see what you actually ate.
All right, that's fine. I'm feeling pretty good about things right now.
You're feeling really good right right about now. That fruit has totally re-energized you. You feel
So I
like
think
you're
we should
walking on
continue
cloud
walking down the
nine.
way.
As I'm following them, Dave, every so often I'll bend over and I'll pick up another flower
Excuse
or
me.
an odd piece of fruit or whatever, and just throw it in my bag just for later or whatever.
Nice. Are you putting the flowers in your hair and shit, or what?
Yes, I am,
I
Dave.
bet
Yes,
you.
I
I
am.
figured you probably would. That's why I asked. So, Thomas and Lester, as you guys are walking through this grotto, well, this fissure, give me a perception check. And if you have
Okie
any
doke.
kind of natural lore, you can add a bonus in that as well.
I have scientific lore.
Nah, not gonna work here for you, bud. Nice try though.
I still got
Wow,
pretty
home of the
good roll.
15s. Yeah, that's good. But you guys just see a bunch of fruit, and as you're continuing walking east, like I said, the waterfall from the grotto is in the distance. Now, lots of leaves and vegetation are starting to grow up from the ground. As the ground starts to turn from a broken earth type of, this is just carved into the earth from some kind of earthquake or fissure, now into something like a natural earthen cavern where there is dirt, mud, these puddles, and now shrubbery and grass is starting to grow up. And you travel probably about another 25 to 50 yards, and at this time the vegetation does grow a little bit denser as you're traveling further east, and you come to you take a sort of like a natural right hand turn, and as you come around the corner, you see a very beautiful open area with these vines and whatnot protruding from the walls, this fruit, and in the middle of this hollowed out cavern, there is a very large vine that's hanging down from the ceiling, from the earthen ceiling, and it has huge, beautiful blue, large pieces of fruit, about a half dozen or so that are growing from this vine. And as you come into this opening a little bit more, you can see that there is a very short gnome, or it definitely looks like a gnome, and he's kind of jumping up, and he's trying to grab a piece of this fruit, and then he picks up a really bendable and flexible vine off of the ground, and he's trying to slap the fruit down with it. And you can hear the vine kind of thudding against the big piece of hollowed fruit, and it's going thump, thump. And he goes, "Get down there, rats! I haven't eaten. I'm so hungry." And you can hear him just, he pays no attention to you. He doesn't even see that you're there.
Oh, I walk right up to him and I go, "Hey,
Whoa!
gnome brother from another mother," because I'm a gnome too, right? So, what's up, buddy? You having some problems getting some food? And I pull out, a red apple that I had picked maybe on the way up, and say, "Here you go, have an apple, buddy."
So this gnome, he is wearing a very patched and filthy leather armor. His hair is very long, very white, really unkempt. Looks like he hasn't bathed in months. He's got bloodshot eyes, and you notice as he turns around to you, and he's staring at you, and he kind of falls back, and he falls on his butt, and then in a quivering voice he says, Are you real? Are you really real?"
Of course I'm real. Do you think somebody that looks this good wouldn't be real?
And he's kind of outstretching his hand to you, and he goes, Are you really? Are you real?" And his voice
And
is very shaky.
I'll slowly emerge from the forest to Dave and start heading that way. So Misty didn't move her token, but I'm going to move mine.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, bitch.
Oh my gosh!
No, just
Wow!
No, fuck out.
So I'll move my token. I'm going to slowly move my way up there.
Oh yeah, I'm all up in this guy's business.
Yeah, this guy looks like he's a little nervous about seeing other people, so
There's
I want
more
him
than
to,
one
I
of
want to
you.
be aware.
Are you all
I'm gonna
real?
wave to him.
And he
We
reaches
are
out,
real.
and he's on his butt, and he sits up, and he touches your foot. He says, "Oh, for Pete's sake, you're real. You're really real. Oh,
Yes, all
goodness.
four of us are real.
Oh my. Oh, it's I can't believe that I can actually see someone else living. I thought I would be here forever. Oh my goodness. And he takes the food that you hand him. What do you hand him, by the way? Poison or what?
No, I'm handing him a red apple.
Some
Okay.
of the meat that she carved off the mermaid.
Oh, I'm handing him a red
So
apple.
he takes the apple and he eats it, and he just scarfs it down, and he says, "Drink? May I have something to drink? Usually I like to drink the juice that are in these fruits, but they aren't growing any lower, and I can't reach it. Oh my goodness! I
Hey,
can't believe that you are
Lester.
real."
Lester, can you get us some of this poor man, some of that fruit up there?
You
Sure,
are
Glitter, no problem.
So real. That's all he keeps saying. You're real. You are
Real
real.
awesome.
You guys are real
Now
awesome.
I'll really get you some fruit. Dave, I'm gonna go up and reach up and snap one of those fruits down. What? They're like these blue bulbous things. What are they?
Yeah,
Are they
they're
pretty heavy, or are they?
sort of, kind of. They're probably about the size of like a small seedless watermelon or so.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna snap this thing down and then with both hands just set it in front of this guy. Here's your seedless watermelon.
He cracks out like a piece of metal that glows. So it looks like a shard of something that has like a very faint glow to it, and he starts to carve this thing open, and then he really quickly splits it, and now he has like two halves of like this juice, and he starts drinking the juice, and it's kind of pouring down his face, and he goes, and then he starts digging out the interior walls of this thing with his hand and eating the fruit, and he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, my friends, I have not ate for days, and oh, I cannot believe you are real. How did you find this place?"
We had a little incident with the teleportations.
Oh my! Oh, so what are your names?
Well, I'm Glitter. I'm sure that you've heard of me. My name is Glitter Twinkle Toes. I'm quite famous, you know.
He
These are my assistants.
as he's eating this fruit, and he's got it just like squishing out of his mouth, and he's eating it like he's never ate before, and he's going as you're saying, oh, I'm Glitter Twinkle Toes and stuff, and then he swallows a big gulp of this this fleshy fruit that he's put in his mouth, and he goes, nope, I've never heard of you. I'm sorry, but I'm sure you've probably heard of me. My name is Perder Traston. Yes, yes, yes. That is Perder Traston, the shield compatriot to Lady Vaja. I was also known as the Little Dragon and Ogrebane. I'm sure my name probably sounds familiar now, right?
So, Dave, I have historical lore. Do I know anything about Perder Traston and historical lore?
That is awesome that you ask. I would love for you to give me a historical lore check. You've heard of
16.
you have all heard of Lady Vaja.
Oh
So
my God.
when he mentions Lady Vaja, you guys remember Lady Vaja, right? Let's go back way back to the beginning of when we started. Thomas, you're excluded from this. But in your teachings at the Voss Academy, you definitely know that Lady Vaja was one of the champions of the Chaos Wars.
Didn't we hear about her when we were way back at the tavern or something
Correct.
like that?
That's right. At the Roadhouse Inn, yeah. Mm-hmm.
We
The
did
Pegasus
our
Roadhouse
show.
Inn, remember that? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, and you remember that Lady Vaja was pivotal. But, Lester, you remember this sort of like with your photographic and video type of memory that you have. You remember nothing about hearing about a Perder Traston, especially a gnome.
No, Perder. I remember Lady Vagina, whatever her name was, but the
Lady
Perder
Lady Vaj. Vaj.
Lady Vaj. We just called her the Vaj.
Yeah, Lady Vaj.
But Perder Traston. Perder Traston. That doesn't sound familiar.
What?
Like, what would I know you from, Perder?
Well, like I said, I was the compatriot and right-hand, gnome of Lady Vaja. I had nicknames as Little Dragon, Ogrebane, and I was the gnome hero. I was champion of all the gnomes, and I was the gnome hero of the Chaos Wars. There should be song,
a long time ago.
there should be tavern songs
would-
about me. There should be
So,
all
how did
kinds
you
of
live?
stories written about me. Well, what do you mean?
It's 100 years.
I've probably only been here probably 10 or 20 years, right? Because I was among the people that brought the Prophet here in chains after the wars. With Arnon Reed, we had everyone here. All of the champions were here. We locked her in the house of the Prophet across the plaza. What do you mean?
I got some bad news, mister. It's been longer than 10 years. You've been eating melons for 200 years.
What? That is impossible. My calculations. And he pulls out this little piece of paper, and he's kind of waving this little shard around that has like resembling some magical light on it, and he's like going, well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can see this paper as it kind of illuminates through this light source, and you can see on his paper he has like 1 little 2 little 3 little Indians, 4 little 5, and this whole paper is just filled up with these markings, and he goes, I've got about, I'd say it has to be about 10 to 20 years, right? Because we brought the Prophet here. We left Arnon Reed. We teleported. Arnon Reed was going to lead us out, and then all of a sudden, an earthquake happened. I blacked out, and when I woke up, I was still trapped here, and everybody else was gone. So I 10 to 20 years is what I thought by my calculations. And usually us gnomes are a pretty intelligent race, of course, compared to no offense to the Saurians, but they claim to be the most intelligent